Alright, today we are going to start talking about page layout, uh, or you can call it customization of user interface. So, the page that you get to see, the user interface that you get to see for a record, how do you customize that? So, the thing is that when you create a new object, we'll go to our project management tab that we created the other day. Okay. So we have seen that when you create an object, the page layout for the object is automatically created. What is the page layout? When you open a record, this is the page layout. Okay, layout of that object page, individual record, detail page. Right. Now this layout of the page is automatically created. We did not create it. Though this is a part of the view layer, it's a part of the user interface, but we never have to create it. It automatically gets created every time you create a custom object, right? And because it was created automatically, you will see that the fields are ordered in the sequence as they were created. The field which was created first appears here first, that way. But you might want to display this in a different order. You might want to display it in a different order. You might want to put it, let's say, the client name here, start date you might want it a little below, number of hours should appear at the top. So that sort of thing. All right. So you might want to order it or reorder it as per your requirement. Secondly, other important thing that you would notice is this side is completely blank. So it has just come into one single column. Right. To make these changes, you can go ahead and make the changes in the page layout. So every object has a page layout by default. You can just go ahead and edit the page layout to set the order of the fields as per your requirement. Okay. So what all you can do in the page layout? First of all, let's understand that. So in page layout, first of all, you can set the order of fields. That's one. Make fields required. Make fields read only. Okay. You can make the fields required. You can make the fields read only, and set the order of the related lists. Choose the fields to be displayed in related lists. What is a related list? The related list is list of child records. Like in this case, this is a related list. The assignments under the project. That's going to be a related list for this particular record. Alright. So page layout gives you the ability to set the order of your fields. It gives you the ability to make certain fields required. It gives you the ability to make the fields read only, and it also gives you the access to control the related list. So what can I control in the related list? I can go ahead and set the order of the related list in case there are multiple of them. and I can also choose the fields that I want to display in the related list. In related list thing you will not understand here because we just have one. Let's go to account object and see. Um, all right. You see there are multiple related lists here. Contacts, opportunities, cases, open activities. So in case you want to set the order of them, that you can do using the page layout. Like if you want opportunity to appear on the top and contacts at the bottom, that can be done. Secondly, you also have an option to control what all fields you are going to display in the related list. Like right now, in the related list contact, you are showing the name of the contact, title, email, phone. Okay. Let's say I also want to show the city of the contact, for example, in this related list. So that you can control through the page layout. Got it? So page layout will give you all these abilities. It will allow you to set the order of the fields, make the fields required, make fields read only, and it will also allow you to set the order of related list, and it will allow you to choose which all fields from related list you want to display. Right. So let's go back to our project app. So we'll go back to the project app and let's say I want to modify the page layout for project object. Okay, I want to edit the um, page layout for project object. How will we do that? We just have to go to setup, go to the same setup, create objects, go to the project object. Scroll down, you will have the page layouts here. If you scroll down, you will find page layouts here. Okay, just go to the page layouts and click on edit. By default, there is this page layout. Click on edit. Right, this is your page layout. These are all the fields. You have the option of setting the order of these fields, or if you want to move a few fields on the right hand side, just drag and drop it. It's a complete drag and drop thing. Client name is important. I will put it here. Manager roles, manager resources. Okay. Let's say I wanted to set the layout like this. So it's just a simple drag and drop. Okay. If you don't need a certain field, you don't want to display, though you have created but you don't want to display it here, you can just go ahead and go to that field and click on this button, remove button. Right? So this will remove the field from the page layout. It's not going to delete the field. The field will not get deleted. It will just be removed from the page layout. So users will not see it. Field will still be there. Okay. So once you have set the order, all that you have to do is you just have to click on save. At the top left corner, you have the save button. You just have to click on save. The changes are saved. Now if you go to project and open a certain layout, or sorry, open a certain record. See, right? Okay. So that's just about setting the order of the fields. Now, the other option that you have here is you also have the option of making the fields required. start date, you want to make it required. So you can just go to this particular field, click on the properties, this last icon, wrench icon at the end. Click on properties and make it required. So you have the option of making it read only or required. Click on OK. So now this field has become required. Save it. Yeah. See, start date has become a required field. Got it? The same way you can make field read only also from here. Now, apart from this, any field that you remove from the page layout, let's say you remove the budget field, and you remove the resources, and you also remove number of hours. Right? Now you want to bring these fields back. All these fields are listed here. You have the option to drag the field and bring it back. Number of hours, resources. These are the fields that I remove. You have the option of getting the fields back here. Clear? So that is simple. So you just have to create the you just have to set the order of the fields, mark the fields as required wherever you want, or make them read only wherever you want. After that, if you scroll down, you will have the option of controlling the related lists also. Okay, you will have the option of controlling the related list here, and if you go to, you will just be able to change the position of the related list, which one should be displayed first and which one should be displayed next. You can drag and change the position of the related list. That's one thing. Uh, and we were talking about displaying what controlling what all fields you want to display in the related list. So you just have to go to a certain related list and click on the properties for the related list. Here you will have the option of displaying what all fields you want to show in the related list, like assignment name, what is the duration of the assignment, okay. Which consultant is working on assignment, what is the expected end date for the assignment. So now these fields are going to be displayed in the related list, right? So this thing also can be controlled from the page layout. Clear? Let me know if anyone has a question or a doubt. No question? It's pretty simple. Okay, so I have a question. When you create a field, when you create a field, you have an option of marking a field required. People who have created fields might have noticed this. When you are creating a new field, you have an option of marking the field required. Correct? Now, that is one option. Now we see that there is an option of making a field required on the page layout also. So we see there are two options of making a field required. One, while you were creating the field, at that time there was an option of making that field required. Second option that we saw today, that you can go to the page layout, and on the page layout you can make a field required, right? So this field start date has been made required from the page layout. This has been made while we created the field. Got it? So though both of them are required, but the approach that we took for making them required are different. One was made required at the time of creating the field itself. One was made required through the page layout. The question to you guys is, do you think there is a difference between these two things?
Yes, Jeet.
A field which is made required on the page layout versus a field which is made required at the time of creating the field. Should
Yeah,
there be a difference? Okay, yes. What is that?
yeah, there is a difference
How?
because when we create a new page layout, uh, there will be a difference. Sometimes if you don't give required also it will show as required.
When you create a new page layout. No, I'm
Page
not
layout.
creating any new
Yeah,
page layout. I'm happy with this page layout only. Do you think still it will have some difference? I just have one page layout. This is the page layout. I've made this field required, start date required from the page layout, and this was made required in the field. I'm not going to create any additional page layouts. I'm okay with this page layout. Do you think still there will be some difference?
should be
Think
no.
about it. Yeah, please tell me. Anyone? Any thoughts? See, when you mark a field as required while creating the field, we call it universally required. Okay? And when you mark a field as required on page layout, sorry, when you mark a field required on the page layout, then you call it required on page layout. Okay. So if you just go by the meanings of what we call them, you will understand the difference. A universally required field is required every time, no matter how your data is being entered. Even if your data is coming through the data loader, this will be required. But this field will be required only on this page layout, which means only when someone is entering the data from the page layout, then this field will be required. But when you try to enter data into project object from the data loader, then definitely we are not going through the page layout. When we are pushing data from the data loader, are we using the page layout there? No, right? Page layout is only being used when user is manually entering the data. So this will be required only when the data is being entered through the page layout. That field will be required on the page layouts as well as for the data loader and backend import and everything. Correct? Is that clear? Make sense? So you have to decide whenever, see, a lot of times you will have this requirement that make the field required if the person is manually entering the data. But if we are doing a bulk upload, it should not be required. Alright? It should allow us to enter data without that value. In that case, you should make the field required on the page layout. Okay, because if you make a field required on, if you define a field as required while creating it, that will become a universally required field. Then no matter from where you are entering the data, from a page layout or from a page layout or from this thing, the bulk upload, it's always going to be required. Correct. So if you have this kind of a situation or scenario where you need to make the fields required only when they are being entered manually to the page, then use page layout required. Fine. Any doubt, confusion on this? Simple. Okay. There's one more concept, a small concept that we need to understand. That for every object we can have multiple page layouts. For each object, you can have multiple page layouts. Like as you see here, I'll save it here. By default, the object creates one page layout, but you have the option of creating more page layouts. See? Now, my question is, why do you think we need multiple page layouts for the same object? Why would I need two, three page layouts for the same object? I have an option of creating a new page layout.
Is it for like different users or profiles?
So now I have two page layouts for the same object. Why do you think we will have that? When someone answered that, what was that?
For different profiles of users.
Yes, for different profiles. Basically for different users, but these page layouts are assigned to the profiles, not to individual users. So you can have different page layouts because your different set of users might have different kind of a requirement of page layout. For example, just consider the accounts. An account is a common object. Almost your sales team, marketing team, customer support team, almost everyone is going to have a look into that, right? Customer support team might be interested in some a few 4 5 fields, and sales team might be interested in some other fields, all right, and they might want different page layouts. Customer support team might want to see the cases related list. Sales team might want to see the opportunities related list, right? So for that reason you need to create different page layouts, okay? So that you can give exactly what do you say, what your customers need or what your end users need. You can give them a page layout exactly as per their requirement, and they don't have to compromise that because everyone else needs this page layout. This section of people will also need to use that. No, you can create different page layouts and put it to different profiles. And as I said, in page layout, we can remove a few fields also. So if you don't want a certain group of users to see a few fields, you can remove it from the page layout. Okay, life becomes easy for you. So you just have to create the page layout again. So if you have the requirement for multiple page layout, you just have to create the page layout. Click on new, clone it from an existing page layout if you want, and give it a name. Make the required changes and then save it. Correct. Now I have three different page layouts for the same project object. I have the object option of going and controlling the assignment of the layout. Which page layout will be assigned to which profile, that you do from this page layout assignment. Click on edit assignment and you have the option of controlling this. Let's say for this particular profile, marketing user, I want to use page layout 2. For read only user, I want to use page layout 3. So for which profile you want to use which page layout, you can select that. Fine. So that's the concept of the page layout. Here, any questions, doubts here? Let me know.
Jeet, I have a question.
Mhm.
So for example, this project page.
Mhm.
So if a team of developers are viewing this project page, maybe they would like to enter a project ID, correct? So it would probably be like an auto number field or a text field. But if the
Mhm.
same thing is viewed by their customer services, they will want to see the same page with a pick list, maybe the project ID.
Mhm.
So can I change the type, the way I view the data in different page layouts as well? From a number, can I make it to a pick list?
No, you cannot change the field type. That has to be two
Cannot.
different fields. Yeah. Okay. So there has to be two different fields then. Number and pick list cannot be same field. Okay. So only thing that we are changing is basically the front end interface, user interface. That's it. Nothing else has been changed.